This is the Block Party of Minecraft podcast, episode 147. We're your hosts, Bearded Sloth.
And Little C.
Get all our info at theblockpartymc.com.
Now let's get the block party started.
It is a party today, Little C. I'm excited to be here. It's a Friday night again.
What if it's not a party? What if it's a block?
It's just a block. I've been called a blockhead before.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have a Charlie Brown shirt. Wasn't he a blockhead?
I think so.
Yeah. Little C, so you sound a little bit different today. Would you like to take some time and explain that?
I sound normal? What do you mean?
Yeah.
I've been kind of sick this week.
Yeah, I got some sinus stuff going on, some kind of head cold thing. But we'll get through this. So I'll probably be doing a lot of the talking. Is that the
Don't
idea?
you do that anyways?
Well, you don't seem to talk much, except for when we get off air, and then I can't keep you quiet, Little C. You just keep talking and talking and talking more, except for when we're on the show.
I don't have anything to talk about on the show.
Oh, geez.
I haven't played Minecraft in a while.
All right, well, we probably ought to get to our listeners. I'm sure they're playing Minecraft and want to talk about Minecraft, so let's get into those. The first comment we have this week comes from John Derry 270. I would certainly miss the main show. Okay, he's talking about last week. We kind of said, people won't miss the show because people sent us emails when we didn't have the noob corner last week. So that was a big deal, right? 2 weeks ago now. And so we kind of mentioned on episode 146 that, nobody's going to miss us. So that's what he's talking about. Also, I am sorry that I wasn't really that clear in that email that I sent about 2 weeks ago. What I meant to say was, what are some new building blocks that I can build with that have been added from 1.16.5 through 1.20.1? Sorry, I haven't been super grammatically correct. Little C, did you want to expand on that? I think we finally got his comment figured out. It took us a while for our brains to start up last week on that.
I don't think it changed my answer at all.
Yeah, I think
My building blocks were around in like 1.2. I don't know.
right.
Spruce and stone bricks.
What about like copper? Right? I mean,
It's cool, but I don't use it. It's too much of a pain to get in survival.
That is something that's coming very soon, is the tough blocks, the tough variants.
I'm excited for those.
I'm looking forward to those for sure. I really don't have that much of an answer for you, John Derry. I'm still like learning the Nether update blocks, so that's where I'm at. I'll go ahead and read our second comment here. Comes from Excited Sapling. And this is in response to a previous listener question about first time with Elytra. If you remember that, I think it might have been, who was that? Kangamar, probably?
I think so.
Somebody like that. Yeah, and we appreciate all our listeners. So this was in response to that. I don't think I read this response on that episode. Anyways, Excited Sapling says, my first time was excited and scared as I was in the end and have my partner hovering over me in case he needed to grab my controller. Ha ha. But now I am just like, whatever, firework, up and away. However, I have to say I've started a new world within the last month. I am loving my horse and even my pig. Ha ha. I'm trying to stay away from in-game travel.
Yeah, Minecraft's usually more fun without elytras, although I don't like not having an elytra.
I do, and we kind of discussed that our first time with Elytra and stuff. And we did go a long time this season before we ever went to the end and get Elytras on Jericho SMP. And there was something kind of nice, but I got to tell you, I'm loving being able to come above ground from my base area and just shoot up and away with a rocket, and I can pretty much make it back to spawn with that one rocket. That's so nice.
It takes me about 4 to get from my base if I do it right.
Yeah, you're a little bit
Usually
further.
I fly into the side of a mountain and
Yeah.
it takes about 20.
I was going to say, you have mountains to kind of get over from your base, I think. Mine, you can almost see spawn. I didn't go too far. I like being close just in case we get new players or anything and I want to meet up with them or show people around.
I don't know. I get back to spawn super quick, so I guess early game, but new players, those are scary.
Sometimes. We haven't actually had any new players in a little while. We've got a really strong base of players, I'd say, this season. It's not quite as active as some previous months, I guess, of the seasons. Usually that's happened, but I do feel like we have a strong player base still, which is kind of nice. And we do have a third comment here. It's from John Derry 270 again.
Hey, do you know that you have a following on Audible? Do you read the ratings and reviews there? Do you get any podcasting inspiration from the Spawn Chunks Minecraft podcast? Should we start implementing clever death messages like on that podcast? John Derry 270 fell off a cliff while walking because he was too busy contemplating what the future of the Block Party podcast could be.
All right. I love it. And we appreciate the other podcasts out there. We're aware of the Spawn Chunks. I wasn't really an avid listener of them before we started doing our podcast. I didn't honestly know that there were that many out there. I knew of Foxy's, which honestly, I don't think they're doing theirs anymore, which is unfortunate. I enjoyed theirs too. But the Spawn Chunks, they're good. They just focus on a little bit different aspects, I'd say. They're
I
really focused on their building and things of that nature.
I don't listen to Minecraft podcasts that much, like maybe once or twice a year, but I listen to other podcasts like The WAN Show, which is the Linus Tech Tips podcast, and a few other mostly tech related stuff, but I don't really know what's going on in the Minecraft podcast space. The Spawn Chunks are alright though.
Yeah, and I haven't listened to them for a while. I do know the death message, like what you're saying. That's a thing they do
I didn't
for a
even
long time.
get that reference, so I haven't
Okay.
listened to them that closely, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty funny when they have emails or comments or whatever, and the commenter will always have some kind of reference like that. And this one's very appropriate. Too busy contemplating what the future of the Black Party podcast could be. I'm contemplating that too. We kind of wonder, we kind of go through phases of, okay, have we made too many already and are people stop listening? But we are slowly growing, I would say. I do want to give a shout out. We do have more subscribers, I'd say in the past few weeks, honestly, which is amazing. That's the only way we're getting any source of revenue, I guess you'd say, or any type of financial support here doing this. We're just doing this for fun, but it is nice to feel that appreciation in that way. So if you haven't yet, make sure you go subscribe to the podcast. It's only 99 cents a month. It used to be $1.99. And there's more episodes now. It's crazy. How can they do that, little C?
Oh.
Find that
Subscribe?
link in the description. It says subscribe to the podcast. It's all through it used to be Anchor, but now it's through Spotify, basically. So go check that out. It does really help us out.
What's an Audible?
Audible?
Is that Amazon?
I do think they have merged or made an agreement or something with Amazon now. I did look it up. I looked up. We do have a really good review on there, which is awesome. I am not necessarily, I know I probably put our feed on there, but that's not one where we're using for hosting or any of the main ones. But it's definitely available and it does help support us, even listening there. I would say the best way to listen is probably Spotify or just going to the direct links to the podcast, which is actually, I believe it's Spotify for podcasters. So you might want to check those out too. I'd appreciate all listeners, however they can find us, even on YouTube now. We do have it automated on our original YouTube channel, so you can even find us there. All right, and we do have a fourth comment, kind of came in last minute, and that comes from Any Isle. I've been playing a bit of Pal World, and one interesting gameplay aspect is that food goes bad after a period of playtime. It got me thinking that would be an interesting thing to add to Minecraft, especially for meat. I've had a double chest of meat sitting for months that I'm sure would be mighty rancid in real life. Expiring food would add another thing to keep track of, but that adds to the fun, right?
I don't think I want to deal with food going like having rotten, like how we have rotten flesh, like making that for everything. I don't think I want. I want my food to sit in a chest for 3 years for when I actually need it. It makes more
I could
sense in a
see the
bit more.
benefit of
It
it,
makes more
but
sense in a bit more like active survival game and less like sandbox. Like Minecraft's focus is really not surviving.
well,
It's
yeah,
creating stuff, whereas a lot of other survival games is more about just like surviving and like doing the tasks.
that and one of the aspects of Minecraft that I love to do is just try to collect more and more and more. Even if I never use something, if I have a way to produce more, let's say like a cactus farm, and I like to just store a lot of it. So yeah, I I kind of like the idea because I love realism and bringing that into
You're
Minecraft.
playing Minecraft,
But
no
then at the
realism.
same time, yeah, it's Minecraft. So I don't know. I go back and forth with that. Do you know anything about Pal World there, Little C? I have not looked into it at all. I know nothing.
It looks fun.
Okay.
I don't know too much about it. It was really popular on Steam for a while. Looks like a fun game.
So that must be he is part of our leadership in Jericho SMP. He must be over there playing that a little bit more. Just saying. Yeah,
That's fine. I haven't played Jericho,
I
and
know.
neither of you, BS, the owners of the server.
Shh. That's our little secret, Little C. All right. Thank you for all those comments. We really appreciate all the comments coming in from you listeners. You can email us contact at theblockpartymc.com or join our Discord. That is the best way, the easiest way. We have a channel just for these show comments. Little C, let's talk Minecraft, you and me.
I forgot my homework.
No, you actually turned in your work this week and I got it on the show notes. So there you go.
And my whole thing is just how I haven't played much Minecraft. Jericho was
Again,
a problem earlier this week and stuff.
Jericho was
And I
a
thought about
problem.
playing it, but then it was just a problem, and I was like, eh. And I played a little tiny, tiny bit of Minecraft today, and I did literally nothing. It was great.
Okay, so let's talk about the problem on Jericho SMP. The other, I guess that was like maybe Saturday or Sunday or something. I forget how long ago it was. But basically, some data centers were having issues. And I remember Microsoft having a problem with their gamer tag. Anyways, that got fixed. And then our particular data center that our server node is hosted at must have had a problem. I could get on Jericho. You could get on Jericho at some point, right? At the very, or they fixed it, right? We figured it out. Then they fixed it. Said, okay, this problem is fixed. We try to get back on, but nobody else is joining, which was kind of odd for the time frame. And so I tried to join with my phone, same account and everything, and I couldn't join. And then if I figured out if I was on a different type of connection, I couldn't join. And then some of our leadership from all across the country, from the East Coast to the West Coast, and they couldn't join Jericho, but yet I could hear. It was really weird. So we ended up talking to tech support, and yes, we're still with Bisect, and they're great most of the time. And I
Until
don't
this
think,
stuff happens, but
right,
that's not even them. It's their.
right, exactly. Their customer service was great with it, handled it well. It was just a matter of wherever the node was, and it wasn't Bisect directly's problem. Anyways, we ended up shifting the whole server over to another place again, another server data center, basically. And we had to go through that. It took like all week to get this all figured out, but we've got it. And then I was waiting for the subdomain to transfer. It never did. So I had to make a new one of those. That's your server address and port and everything. So if you are a part of Jericho SMP and you didn't happen to see the Discord message and you're wondering why you can't join, we do have a new server address and port. So make sure you're part of the Discord to check that out.
Yeah, it took me a little while to realize that the server port or the stuff changed because I clicked on it and I'm like, oh, the server's not working. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, we changed that.
It's like I put messages on there for a reason,
I
Little
don't
C.
read those.
I
You
know.
being silly.
Apparently, a lot of people don't. But I want everybody to be able to join. I take it seriously when there's a problem like that. I prioritize that in my day over other things sometimes. I want to make sure it's right because I really enjoy the family we have of Jericho SMP members, and I want them to be happy. I did jump into Minecraft a little bit last night, just kind of wanted to check things out. I went up, checked my mailbox at spawn, nothing there. Nobody left me any mail. I checked into the church, just make sure nothing was going on there. And then I went back, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and I cleared out my iron farm. I kind of took care of inventory that was stacking up there. I'd say that's about it. Now, let's get into our real life a little bit, Little C. It has been crazy for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
And I haven't been able to talk about it because all these little puzzle pieces had to fit together and had to make things happen. But now I can talk about it. I officially am not a truck driver. I'm still qualified. I still have my CDL. I didn't get in trouble. Nothing like that. But I am no longer employed as a truck driver. That is a huge change for me, Little C.
It's crazy.
Your whole life I've been a truck driver.
And then some.
So right there, I don't have that downtime at the end of the day after driving the truck just to play some video games like Minecraft.
Sounds like an excuse to me.
Wow. I don't, it really is. I'm hoping once I get started, I did get a new job. I was offered a nice position at actually going to be working as an IT technician at a local credit union. That is a huge change.
Your tech support.
Basically, yeah, I'm tech support for the employees at the credit union, essentially. And I'm looking forward to it. But that also meant because we did buy a car not too long ago and that one blew up, well, we only had one car again for all three of our drivers here. I needed another car, so HolyBookworm and I actually drove a couple weeks ago, got another car. I'm really happy about it. Actually got a 07 Chevy HHR. If you know what that is, I love them. We've had one in the past before. I love the way it drives. Just love everything about it. So,
And it's the color of a cardboard box. And I said we need to get like the little this side up sticker on the side and like packing information on it.
yeah, I think
car
that would be
stickers.
funny. Paint it, well, yeah, decal it up so it looks like an Amazon shipping box or something. It'd be funny. Little C, I think I left your section of the notes out for the real life. Can you recall what you've been up to this past week?
Well, I've been sick.
You have
That's
been sick this week.
fun, right? Yay.
Yay.
Other than that, I got Need for Speed Most Wanted, which is my favorite Need for Speed game, on computer instead of having to get the PlayStation 3 and figure out that old ancient technology of a PS3. And because I wanted to play it with my wheel, so I can play it on my computer. And wow, my computer runs it a lot smoother than the PlayStation ever did. I wonder why.
Yeah, the technology has changed quite a bit in that time.
I also have been playing a lot of Halo, and I'm bad at it still. So that's...
So are you liking that style of game? The first person shooter and you just go after everybody and
Yeah, it's fun. I'm bad
Good.
at it.
that's okay. As long as you're having fun. I'm bad at a lot of games like Minecraft
All of the above?
and it's still fun. All of the above games,
What game are you good at?
racing games.
Man, debatable.
I'm pretty good at racing games.
Debatable.
If I sit and do them. I'm good at American Truck Sim, which is my only way to truck now.
Are you? Because I have a screenshot of you with a truck sideways.
We're not talking about that, Little C. Come on now. Yeah, I am really excited to see what life brings us. We've had a lot of changes. We've been working on the house, things like that. I actually had to help mow today. Usually I'm not home, so I had to work. I need to get back to a job. That way I can relax a little bit. Just saying. All right, that ends our real life week.
Has Minecraft been doing anything? If so, you can find it at minecraft.net.
You can. And that's where all this info is coming from.
Whoa, they actually did stuff.
They did. We have 3 things here this week. First up, we have Minecraft Java 1.21.0 pre-release 3 came out Wednesday, June 5th, 2024. In case you did not catch the news, the full release of 1.21 is planned for the 13th of June. Hey, that's coming soon. What is that? Next Thursday, I believe. So I'm looking forward to that. So these should be like the last updates that we read before the official ones. I'm super excited. It's
I
gonna be
I,
fun.
I
I
kind of
just
forget
love the
what the
hype.
update's adding,
Well,
and I mean we're getting tough blocks, but I don't
well,
think there's anything I'm gonna just log
trial
on and
chambers
do.
is probably the biggest thing I would say, and everything that comes with that, the breeze and the wind charges and all of that, and the mace, that new hammer thing.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna log on to Minecraft to do any of the new stuff, to be honest.
Yeah. So in this pre-release, they do have some changes here. Following changes were introduced in pre-release 1. The wind burst enchantment now bounces the player 7 blocks up per enchantment level. With great power comes great responsibility and risk. At level 3, the enchantment will bounce the player 21 blocks up, while doing some quick maths will hurt quite a bit when hitting the ground again. In other words, make sure you have a target locked in or other means of mitigating the fall damage before making contact with the ground again. All right, data pack version is now 48. Replace disk entity effect type is renamed to replace disk. Bugs fixed. Placing a map into an item frame and removing it does not remove the green player marker. Tamed entities ignore their look at player goal distance and look in the direction of their owners from any distance when being stood up. Empty attribute modifiers lost during upgrade. Hanging leashed boats gain excessive upward momentum. Summoning any entity with rotation causes it to be rotated incorrectly. MIP mapping not properly applied to moss carpet. Entities have incorrect rotations after loading or reloading a world. Crash while saving entity NBT. Cannot encode empty item stack. I do want to throw a reminder out there. This is Java Edition. So these are all the problems that they were having that they did fix in this pre-release here. Leashed boats. Leashes disappear upon rejoining world. Leashing a boat to a fence which already has a lead attached to it removes the existing lead rather than attaching the new one, which you Java players should be very excited that you can finally do this, by the way, that you can even leash a boat.
They should be.
Yes, I agree.
I don't know if it's really a good thing though. Like it seems like more of a bug than a feature, but then again, how else are you supposed to transport stuff you can't lead?
Yeah, I kind of agree. Well, minecarts work for a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah, I think I use minecarts anyways. I find it easier.
Yeah, I do a little bit of both. I'm getting really good at moving stuff around with boats, though. All right, let's keep going with the bugs that they fixed. Place boats slash rafts no longer face the same direction as the player. Entering an end gateway does not consistently grant the remote getaway advancement. Unleashing boats leashed to fences via use item slash place block drops the lead in creative mode. Stepping up blocks while falling on the side of them can sometimes allow players to climb to normally unreachable heights. Crash when entity is leashed by non-living entity slash execute on leasher does not work for leashed boats. Entering an end portal makes you face the entering direction rather than always facing west. Maces incorrectly cause damage to the player. Boats and rafts with chests cannot be leashed if they have a passenger. All right, so it sounds like they fixed a lot with the leads, actually, or leashes is what they're calling them here, which is interesting because they're still called leads in Java Edition, right?
Yeah, they're called leads everywhere.
That's
Unless
weird
they're
that they put
changing it.
that in here.
Or that's what everyone calls them anyways.
Right. Yeah, basically. All right, next up, on the same day, Wednesday, June 5th, 2024, was Minecraft Bedrock beta slash preview 1.21.10.22. And I'm guessing this is going to be the last beta preview before next week's. They might throw in another one like on Wednesday or
They
something,
probably
but
will.
we'll see. All right, we have additions here. Added emote game tip. The tip appears when there are remote players close to the player and the player has spent at least 30 seconds with other players in the world. I have no idea what that might be. Is it going to be like a pop up? Hey, why don't you use an emote or something?
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
I don't like those kind of things, but
Hopefully, we
Minecraft
can
does.
turn it off. But if you want to check it out, it is in the beta preview right now. Added a new reporting flow that lets players add more context and information about why the report is being made. Added sound effect to help players understand that they have already looted this vault. I like that. Little
That's
in
good.
game hints and stuff to tell you, oh, I can't do that again. Changes here in this beta preview. Doors of different materials will now be able to form a double door.
Good change.
I love this. The bell block no longer rings twice when hit with a wind charge projectile. Flattened double stone block slab 2, double stone block slab 3, double stone block slab 4, and prismarine. Prismarine double slab, dark prismarine double
Do
slab,
you really have
and
to
a whole
read all
bunch
those?
more of
Okay.
those that they flattened. And I don't even know what that means. I know it has something to do with the code type thing or commands. Instone brick double slab now has a destruction time of 3. Okay, a whole bunch of the other double slabs above that have a destruction time of 1.5. Just throwing that out there. Buttons can now slide completely to the right when customizing controls on iOS. When customizing touch controls, the safe zones on the left and right side are now ignored. The wind charge model now correctly renders within its bounding box. Increased player fired wind charge speed by 50%, bringing it into parity with Java Edition. The rarity color of Trident, Mace, and Heavy Core have been changed to the epic color magenta. Added rarity coloring in the tooltips of Creeper Charge, Skull Charge, Thing, Snout, Flow, and Guster banner patterns.
Wait, this is on Bedrock.
This is on Bedrock.
So they're adding that?
It
The
looks
color
like it.
rarity?
That's
That's
what it looks
interesting.
like. Drown now spawn individually in rivers instead of in groups of 2. So less drowns. That's kind of nice. Or at least they're not right next to each other and then I die and I drown and while I'm fishing from my pier in Jericho SMP season 5.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Just saying. And drown now spawn in aquifers and dripstone caves. Oh no. These are my nemesis. All right. Fixes here in this Bedrock beta preview. Fixed a bug where items from certain add-ons could appear without textures or names when joining realms. Fixed a bug that caused Crafter to be audible from more than 5 blocks distance. The heavy core block is properly scaled in the inventory. The heavy core block is now positioned correctly in item frames. Fixed ancient city entrance using a single deep slate tile slab instead of a double slab. Players will not receive damage when in the world load or dimension transfer loading screen. Wow, that's a huge one. Because I know that was a problem sometimes. Players no longer momentarily go into a crawl for a single tick when moving towards a bed with a 1.5 unit gap above it. The wind charge projectile shot by the breeze no longer toggles blocks when mob griefing is disabled in settings. Fixed a bug where a user could not create a new realm via the free beta/preview realm available button in the Worlds tab due to an infinite loading screen and non-functioning create preview/beta realm button. Fixed an issue on Amazon devices where game would occasionally crash when joining a world. Fixed a bug where the wrong text could be shown on the death screen while using hardcore mode in split screen, and many more. We always have a link in our description that goes to all of the changelogs. All right, and then actually earlier today, since we're recording this on Friday, that it is June 7th, Minecraft Java 1.21.0 pre-release. Can you take a guess, Little C?
Is it going to be 4?
It is. That's right after
Yippee.
3. Can you believe it? All right, we have some changes in this one. The burning time reduction effect of fire protection and knockback resistance effect of blast protection now stack from wearing several pieces. So that's nice. You can stack them up on each other on your armor, basically, right? That's always good to have more benefits from that. To get the maximum benefit of these effects, you now need to wear a full set of enchanted armor. Wearing a fully enchanted armor set still grants the same effect as in 1.20.6. Wearing only a single piece of enchanted armor now has reduced effect compared to before. After a prime TNT has gone through a nether portal, it will no longer be able to destroy nether portal blocks. All right, and here's some more Java bugs fixed in this pre-release. The prevention of fall damage from wind charges is not retained upon reloading the world. Wind charges sometimes don't prevent fall damage. Fire protection burning time reduction now stacks for every piece of armor. Blast protection explosion knockback resistance now stacks for every piece of armor. Boat clutching after using a wind charge results in the player taking fall damage. And remember, on all these were the problems that they fixed, so hopefully now you can still boat clutch. Wind burst damages the player twice on one use, even when using wind charges. Using a wind charge to stop the fall damage after using the wind burst enchantment doesn't correctly cancel the damage. Mace can have sharpness, and that's it on that pre-release. We're getting really close. All right, that wraps up the past week in Minecraft.
Now it's time for do.
Listener questions. I'm questioning my intro.
Yeah, I think the rest of us are too. The first question comes from John Derry, 270. What is the worst and best building or buildings built structurally and aesthetically on the Jericho server in your opinion? And what are they and what do they accomplish, if anything?
Well, that's a big question there, John Derry. And you're kind of putting me on the spot because I don't want to call certain players out and not others. I appreciate everybody. But as far as ever built on Jericho SMP, there have been tons of really, really awesome builds, right? I mean, there's tons to choose from here. I have to say that one that really stands out in my mind, and I mean, it's good, it's great, but it really stood out to me that somebody did this. This was early on. This was season 2, and it was a giant Steve holding up basically like a almost like a dome world kind of thing. He had a whole thing on top of it. Do you remember this one, Little C?
I do. That one was pretty cool. There was a giant flat area around it too.
Yeah, and he did so much work with that. You can actually check it out on our website. If you go to the Jericho SMP info and you find the pictures there, that is one of the pictures on there. And there's just been so many cool ones though over the years. And as far as like this current season, I'd actually say the AT-AT that you built, Little C, I think that one's really cool. And just recently, there was a wolf statue just went up. I saw that near shops too. And it is a shop. And that looks really cool too. And you know what? This season too, the boat race ice boat racetrack. Yeah.
You done, or you gonna name off the rest of the stores on Jericho?
Dude, there's just tons of them. They're so good. I love the boardwalk thing along the mountain area. I love the mail room. I just love it all. I like my church I built. It's kind of cool.
I haven't seen many people's bases this season, but for shops, at least, I really like the style of the smaller shops, but a lot of them, and it makes it feel like a little town.
Yeah, I agree with that. I haven't flown around other than from like my base, maybe to your base a little bit, and
I saw
back to
someone's
shop,
base
so.
who had like a really cool bridge, but I never flew down to see who it was.
Yeah.
I just saw like this cool bridge and stuff.
Yeah, I have seen a few things kind of in the distance. I haven't closely investigated too much. I'll definitely have to look into that a little bit more. This season is going to be probably long term, probably longer than the year is what you're hoping for, Little C. So I think we have some time to check it out, but it's just every season the players amaze me. All right, thank you for that question, John Derry 270. I know I have several other questions from you, but we like to read one listener question from different listeners if we can, but we didn't have any others out there, so we're going to go ahead and move on. And make sure you keep the listener questions coming. You got to get them to us. Join our Discord, email us, all those good things. I think it's about time for us to go, Little C.
Well, we can't go yet. We gotta do everyone's favorite part of the show.
Oh, what's that?
Holy Bookworm's Joke of the Week.
Why did the Oreo go to the dentist?
Because he lost his filling.
I love Oreos. Do you twist them apart before you eat them? Or do you just eat them in a bite? Or how do you eat your Oreos there, Little C?
I twist them apart and then make like one giant Oreo.
I just open them and scrape off the filling part and
Yeah.
just eat that. That's
Why
my
can't they
favorite.
just sell that?
And I would hope most our listeners know what Oreos are. I don't know if they're
Yeah,
all around the world
I
or
think
not,
they are.
but they're really delicious. And now
You gotta go mega stuff to well, mega stuff doesn't matter compared to like the one just under it. It's the
now we
same.
do have to tell Holy Bookworm because she's the one writing these jokes out. I have to say she now needs to make me an Oreo cream pie.
I'm good with this.
All right, let's go. Make sure you subscribe to us. We really appreciate you being here. Again, 99 cents a month, and it really helps us out. I'm hoping we can get about 9 more subscribers. That would really help us out with the website and everything like that. And really, we're not trying to make a living doing this or even any extra, just trying to sustain and do this for y'all. Make sure you join us at theblockpartymc.com.
Got thoughts or questions? Reach us on Discord or at contact@theblockpartymc.com.
Thanks for listening. I'm Bearded Sloth, and now I gotta get Holy Bookworm to make me an Oreo cream pie.
And I'm Little C. Bye.